All right. Hopefully everybody's doing okay this morning. What's going on this morning? Hoping everybody can hear me and everything's going okay this morning. I got out to a late start this morning, and I do apologize. Had some carriers that I needed to work some things out with about 3 carriers this morning. It's like when when trouble happens, all happen at the same time. But I was finally able to get that worked out. And so today, we're not going to be really doing a whole bunch. I'm going to be taking questions from people who want to ask questions about brokering. So today is going to be just a Q&A. So that's what today is. It's all Q&A. I'll give me just a moment. I'm trying to get set up here with some other stuff. Let me sure I get my channels and stuff set up so we can do Q&A today. So that's what today is. It is Q&A. So I'm going to wait for one. You can get your and answer your questions. That's what today's program is. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Calvin Butler. I'm with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. And I own a freight brokerage firm from 2016 to about 2018. And then I converted it into a dispatch firm. So in case you all are wondering about who I am, okay? So today is all going to be Q&A. Good morning, James Sears. Good morning, Alicia Osofly. Good morning to you all. I am still getting over this COVID situation, so please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm getting over this COVID thing, so if anybody has any questions, that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be all Q&A. I'm not going to do any, spontaneous training or anything like that. But today is going to be next. So I'm just here on YouTube and I'm waiting for people to pose their questions. And I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. And I really didn't prepare a class because I'm just not feeling I'm suffering from rebound COVID. And it's not going too good. So other than that, I'm okay. So thank you, Mr. Sears. I appreciate it. I got this persistent cough, and I've got these cough drops that I've been hanging on to. All right. First question is from Alicia. Can dispatchers reach out to shippers? Yes. Dispatchers can reach out to shippers. Now, dispatchers cannot negotiate margins. Okay. Only a broker can negotiate a margin. Now, what dispatchers can do, because when you reach out to a shipper, the shipper already has their load set for what they are going to allocate to pay carriers. Now, you as a dispatcher, you cannot negotiate with a shipper, okay? Because you're not a broker. You're not really supposed to be negotiating with shippers because you're not a broker. But can you reach out directly to shippers and have shippers send you their load? Yes, you can. Now, with that being said, you cannot repost loads. So if a shipper, if you reach out to a shipper and you successfully get a shipper to start sending you their loads every morning, You can't post those loads anywhere. Nowhere can you post them. You can't post them on Facebook. You can't post them on load boards. You can't post them at your local post office. You can't post loads nowhere because you are not a broker. Only brokers can take ownership of freight. Therefore, only brokers can post loads or just, shotgun loads out there for people to look at and say, oh, okay, I'll take this load, this load, that load, and that load. But you got to remember the statute. The statute states that as a bona fide agent, and that's what a dispatcher is. CFR 37149.1. That's the statute, okay, from the Federal Motor Carriers Safety Administration. The statute states that you must have a pre-existing agreement, okay? That's your dispatch agreement, okay, with a carrier for a continued relationship. To find said carrier suitable freight, persuading to said carrier specific criteria. Now, what all that means is basically this. You don't have the authority to take ownership of freight, okay? You can contract with as many carriers as you want to. You can get the carrier's profile form, which means the carrier tells you what they need and what they want and what they're looking for, price-wise, whatever the case may be. But then if you got direct shippers, you can go through those shipper loads and you have to match, you have to look at and see which loads fit your carrier's criteria. As far as where that carrier is, what type of money that carrier wants, the rate per mile, type of freight, the weight, that type of stuff. And then once you get a couple of loads that match that carrier's criteria, then you can go to that carrier and say, Mr. Carrier, I've got some loads here I think you might be interested in. Which one of these do you want? That's how you can operate using direct shippers. But you can't take those shipper loads, all those loads that the shipper is sending to you, and then just post them out there for people to see and for people to take a look at and then decide if they want to grab some of your freight. Because that would then you would be acting as a broker, and that would be highly illegal. Hopefully y'all heard me. My mic sounds like it's about to cut out on me. And I hate that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to switch over to a different mic. Y'all give me a second. I think I'm gonna have to switch over to a different mic because my headset is beeping, which means that it's usually low on something. All right, let me test this one out to make sure I got it right. Anytime y'all got questions, put post your questions or your remarks and stuff. Go ahead and see if I can get some of the headset set up. So here I'm on the find Everybody give me just a moment. Doesn't seem to want to connect. You know, unknown device. Let's see if this will connect now. That's not going to. That's not going to work. I do apologize, everybody. I'm just trying to connect these headsets. All right, here we go. Now, all right, now we're back. I do apologize. My headset was tripping and it was beeping in my ear. Let me know it was loud. But now it's back. Okay. Let me go ahead and get back over here. Got some background noise now. Give me a second, everybody. Come on, really? All right. I'm trying to get rid of that background noise. I think I got rid of it. All right. So at least I hope I answered your question. Okay, I'm new. Please explain understanding load boards. Okay, Mr. Sears, what do you mean by understanding load boards? I can tell you what load boards are. Mr. Sears. Why am I getting feedback? Mr. Sears, are you on both you and in the back office? Because I'm getting feedback. And I should not be getting feedback. Let me try that. All right, yeah. All right, Mr. Sears, for some reason you got your mic open and you got YouTube open at the same time. So if you're on both, you're gonna be giving me feedback from your I'm actually hearing myself talk, and I should not be hearing that. So if you're in our Zoom and you're on YouTube at the same time, you gotta turn your volume off of YouTube. You gotta like mute YouTube or something or one or the other, because if you don't do that, I'm gonna get feedback. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our question here. Go back to my Zoom. Go back to our question. Let me share. Now, Mr. Spears, what was your question again? You can talk to me through the site, or you can type it through YouTube, one or the other. Good morning, LeBron Robinson. Today is all Q&A. We're just doing questions and answers. If you have questions about brokering or dispatching or whatever the case may be, go ahead and pose your questions for me right here on YouTube. You can pose your questions for me. or you can come on live and ask me questions. Mrs. Sears, what was your question again? Okay, let's clarify your question. It said, please explain understanding load boards. Okay, I'm gonna try and interpret what you mean by understanding load boards. Let me share my screen here real quick. And I'm gonna try and interpret what you mean by understanding load boards. So give me a second. Let me share my screen. Okay, load board. So let's go ahead and share. I'm sharing my screen. Let's go ahead and get over here to direct freight. All right. Load boards, there's a whole bunch of load boards. Load boards is what the industry uses to post all the freight out there that's available. That's basically what load boards are. Every load board basically operates basically the same way. Okay. Load boards is they are private owned websites by the load board creator. You can create your own load board if you want to. I myself and a couple other people were working on trying to create our own load board, but you know that's a slow moving process. Okay, but there are hundreds of load boards out there, probably thousands of them. I mean, they're all over the place. Okay, you got direct freight, you got truckloads, you got truckers pass, you got 123 load board. Of course, you have that. You have next loads, you have step deck loads, you have there's thousands of load boards. Okay, and most load boards generally charge you a fee to access the loads that are being posted on there. Now, how do the loads get on load boards? Load boards are posted by. Load boards are always posted by the brokers. You're hardly gonna ever see a shipper with loads on a load board. Okay, so if you go to the load board trying to find direct shipper loads, you're not gonna find it. Okay, 99.9% of all loads posted on load boards are posted by brokers. Plain and simple, because brokers have the authority to take ownership of freight, and when they take ownership of that freight from the shipper, then they can then go out there and shotgun those loads in and everywhere they can to try and entice carriers to grab their loads and run them so they can make that money. Okay, so load boards is the way the industry tracks and markets the freight that needs to be moved. It's kind of like a big marketplace. That's all it is. I mean, that's all a load board is. It is a big freight marketing place where you go and you market your freight. Like you have here in Texas right now, you know, you got all these loads that are posted all you know, in each state, and the loads that are here, they're all posted here by brokers. As you can see over here, you're never gonna see a shipper. You're always gonna see brokers posting loads. Okay, you're always gonna see brokers. These are all brokers. These are all brokers. These are all brokers. None of these are direct shipper loads. None of them are direct shipper loads. Now that the broker has gotten ownership of these loads, they've negotiated a margin with the shipper for what they're going to be paid to move these loads. Then the broker can come here and they can post these loads onto the load boards, and they all are categorized by, you know, that how long the load has been on the load board, deadhead miles, how far you got to travel to go pick that load up if you are in a certain location, the trip miles, how long the load runs, what the distance of that the freight has to go to be delivered to its destination. It tells you where the load picks up at, and then it tells you where the load is going, where it needs to go. It tells you the type of trailer that is approved to run that load. Okay, what type of trailer can you put that load on? It tells you the size of the load. It tells you the length of the load, the weight of the load. It gives you the overall pay rate, and it gives you the estimated rate per mile in some cases. Not all load boards are going to show you the estimated rate per mile. Okay, they're not going to show you that. It shows you the ship date, the date that it has to be picked up. Okay, and it also shows the credit report rating of the broker that posted that load. So then you got the broker's information of which is the company that posted the load, along with their name, their address, and it tells you how you can book that load. You can book it online, or you can call, how you want to do it. And once you click on one of them, it pulls them up and gives you more information about that load and about the company that posted. That's load boards. Now, that's what load boards are used for. Brokers use load boards to market the freight that they have ownership of. Okay, so try, and that's where they go and advertise. It's like a big marketing board. That's where they advertise their freight. Here's what freight I got. Here's where it needs to be picked up. Here's where it needs to go. Here's the weight. Here's the type of trailer that can be put on. Here's what I'm offering to pay for it. Blase, blase, blase. Okay. Dispatchers and carriers, they go to load boards to look for freight. They go to that marketplace to see what's in their area. If a load is close to where they are, or if it's within a distance that they don't mind traveling to go, which is the deadhead miles, then they can contact that person. Say, hey, Mr. Broker over at Sheer Logistics, I see you got a load. They'll give them the load numbers. They picked up in Laredo, Texas. It's only going 1 mile. It's for a dry van. I can run that. The weight is not that bad. I can run that, and I'll take that load. For you got listed at $225. Is there any way you can do $300 on that load? If they want to negotiate, they can. Now, as a dispatcher, you can ask the broker if they have any more money that they can spare on that load. Dispatchers can negotiate with brokers. They cannot negotiate with shippers. Go figure. Okay, because because the dispatcher is not supposed to be negotiating with shippers, but a dispatcher can contact the shipper and ask the shipper to send them, some loads. They can't, but they can't post those loads anywhere. You can't send those loads out anywhere. Okay. It is not illegal for a dispatcher to contact the shipper and have a shipper send them loads every morning. It is illegal for a dispatcher to market those loads in mass quantities on load boards, social media, or anywhere. You cannot post loads anywhere as a dispatcher. Okay, that's the distinction. But this is what load boards are used for. Okay, let's see if we got your question answered on that one. All right, Melissa says, if I'm a driver. Okay, hi, is this Mashia? Hey, I think this is your first time here. I've never seen you here before. But Mashia says, if I'm a driver and I want access to book my own loads, I can pay the monthly fee to have access. Yeah, you can. If now when you say a driver, are you working for a trucking company? If you are a company driver, you have to clear that with the company you are driving for. Okay, you have to get the authorization from the company you are driving for in order to have the ability to book your own freight. Now, if you are a lease owner operator, yeah, you can find your own freight. From most lease owner operators, our contracts allow you to locate and find your own freight. Definitely, if you are an owner operator, if you own your own truck and you are an owner operator, you're driving out on your own, yeah, you can definitely go sign up with load boards, and you can, you can negotiate with brokers, whole 9 yards. You can even go directly to shippers and negotiate with shippers. If you are a trucking company, if you are the actual trucking company, now, as a dispatcher, you can't, if you're a dispatcher representing a trucking company, you can't negotiate with shippers. I know that sounds stupid, right? It sounds stupid, but you have to adhere to the statute. Okay, you have to adhere to the statute. If you are an owner operator, yes, you can sign up with load boards and you can go and locate your own freight and run out there and make that money. Now, the smart thing to do would be to join our platform. Why? Because we give you access to more than 100 load boards that you won't have to pay for. You just pay your monthly subscription fee. You pay your enrollment fee. You pay your monthly subscription fee, $39.95 per month, and you're going to get access to more than 100 load boards. Now, if you are a owner operator and you're out there running on your own, you're probably going to need access to, I would say you need access to a minimum, a bare minimum of 3 load boards. At least 3. Ideally, you're going to need 4 or 5. Okay. But if you got access to at least 3, you should be okay. And then you can probably get access to a couple of free ones like Warner and JB Hutt 360 if you can get approved with them. So get yourself some paid load boards, a couple like 3, maybe 4, and then get on with the Warner get on with Warner loads and get on with JB Hutt 360. Both those are free to owner operators. You just have to get approved with them and get signed up. You have to get signed up, that give them your DOT number, your number, your MC number and stuff, and then run your see if you got any red flags. If you don't have the red flags, and if your authority is more than 4 months old, then you should be able to sign up with both those JB Hutt 360 and Warner loads. Now those are trucking companies that have excess loads that they want to contract out for people to move freight. So they allow independent operators to come to their load boards and get freight from them as well. Okay, but make sure you get yourself at least 3. I'm in a class right now. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Let me where were we at here? Let me make sure we're still connected. Yeah, I know you lost the audio because I was on a phone call. Give me a second. Reconnect my audio. Testing. All right, there we go. You got my audio back. Yeah. When a phone call comes in, I'm gonna lose the audio from you all, and then it'll pick back up once I get back on the once I get back in. All right. But yeah, load boards. You can join the load boards. Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. To join your platform. Yeah, you can join our platform and get access to more than 100 load boards. And you can run your own freight. It's however you want to do. Matter of fact, about 60% of the people who join our platform don't join it for the training. They join it to get access to all of our back office tools and resources. Access to 100 load boards, access to 19 million plus shippers, access to our logistics library, access to our own operator locator sites, access to our network of 2,967 industry professionals. You get access to a lot of things. Okay, get access to a lot of things. You all should be able to hear me now. You all should be able to hear me now on YouTube. If you all can hear me, somebody give me a little thumbs up, or yeah, we got you, or we can hear you, or something. But you all should be able to hear me now. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Thumbs up? No? Somebody give me a response on YouTube if you all can hear me. Waiting for a response to see if you all can hear me on YouTube. I tested my mic. It sounds like we're good. All right, great. Y'all can hear me. right, great. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. All right, but yeah, you can join our matter of fact, let me go and give you the link to where you can go join us at. Where you can join our platform. Give me a second. Let me. In the meantime, if anybody else has any other questions about anything, go ahead and post your questions now. Go ahead and post your questions now. And here's the link to join, to enroll. There's the link where you can go and enroll. Someone says, what day am I available for a call? If you're going to call me up and ask a couple of quick questions, you can call me Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ideally, Thursdays and Fridays is the ideal day to call me. You can call me on Saturdays after the class. Don't call me during my class. But you can give me a call on Saturday, after the class, as long as you're not calling like 7 o'clock at night or 8, 9, after a decent hour. But if you want to give me a call and ask a couple of questions, by all means, give me a call. We can talk. If you need something solved that's gonna take longer than 10, 15 minutes, I'm gonna ask that you schedule a private consultation, because I do charge for private consultations. That's what I do for a living. And you can book a private consultation. I usually do bookings. You can book me Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. for private consultation. My private consultations go for $100 per hour. That's a rate for my private consultation. I'll get on a private Zoom with you. If you need anything, how to run a trucking company without owning the trucks, I'll show you how to do it. So we can set you up for that. But if you just want to give me a call, you got a couple of quick questions that's not going to take more than 10, 15 minutes, yeah, I pick up my phone all the time. You call me, I pick it up. I'll happy to answer questions for you. Okay? So after the class today, if you got a couple of quick questions, something you want me to go over with you, just give me a call. All right. Make sure I haven't missed any questions up here. No, I haven't missed any questions. Doesn't look like I missed any questions. Okay. Oh, if any of you are thinking about enrolling, be careful when you go and you enroll. If you click on that Google Pay, it's going to take a couple of days before Google even gets us that money. I've got a person now who apparently enrolled last night, and they use Google Pay because it says third party. So when you use that Google Pay or that or that PayPal or whatever it is that they have on there, you may not get into the back office site for a couple of days, because it takes them longer to process and get that money over to us through our Square system. Now, if you pay through Square, or if you pay with the old-fashioned way, your direct credit debit card, or if you pay with Afterpay, we get that right away. So we go ahead and process your enrollment and get you into your back office site, within an hour or two. So just be aware of that. Okay. Should I book a call? No, you don't need to book a call. If you're gonna call, just give me a call. 866-973-6445. Let me put that in here real quick. If you're gonna call me, just give me a call. 866 973 6445. And usually the extension, if you're gonna want to get directly to me, you can just hit extension 0, and it'll come directly to my cell phone. So if you want to give me a call, give me a call. You don't need to book, to make a phone call. Just pick up the phone and just give me a call. Greg Darby says, I'm just not joining. Will this be posted later to rewatch? Yeah, it's being recorded now on YouTube Live, so you'll be able to go back and watch it on YouTube. Today we're doing Q&As. We're all questions and answers. So if you have a question for me, if there's a question you ever wanted to ask me, you know, something that's been pressing on you, now's the time to do it. If you have a question, I'm treating this like a free private consultation right now. So that's what we're doing. We're kind of doing like a mini it's not a private consultation, but it's a public consultation. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am, I'm here open to any questions you all have about dispatching, about freight broking, about the industry, about trucking. I have a wide expertise when it comes to this type of stuff. Even if you are thinking about starting your own training platform, you have questions about, what it's like to be a trainer or how to start your own training platform, what's the best way to go about it. Hey, we have a solution for that too. So, ask questions. This is Q&A. Not very often do I do this for free. I usually have people book private consultations and charge them $100 an hour to have in-depth conversations about the industry, or if you have questions about the industry or about how to do something. If you kind of foggy about some stuff, now's the time to do it. Okay. Andre said I got here late, so we'll rewatch, but want to see it. Hey, cool. No big deal. All right. Questions. That's what we're doing today. We're doing questions. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for someone to gather their thoughts and put forth a question, I want to. Here we go. We got some questions here. Good job. All right. Jessica states that I'm a dispatcher now. What path do I need to take to starting my own brokerage? All right. Becoming a broker can be very rewarding. There's a lot of money to be made in brokerage, a lot of money. However, the industry itself is not set up to support small independent brokerage firms. Let me make that very clear to you all. I get this question a lot. Should I become a broker right away? How should I go about becoming a broker? Okay, if you ask just that, just the mundane, run-of-the-mill answer to your question is, go get your bond. $75,000 bond. You go through a bond agency. It takes, they're gonna run your credit. If you got decent credit, you can probably get in that bond with as little as $1,500 down. If you got bad credit, it could be as high as $10,000 down just to get your bond. Okay, so that bond is kind of expensive. You're also going to need to get your authority. I know people say you can get your authority for around $400, $500, $600. No, in reality, after you pay everything for getting your authority, it's going to cost you around close to $1,600 on getting your authority. Okay, so there's a lot of hidden fees that come with that after the fact that you're going to have to pay to get your authority. You're going to need to get insurance. You're going to need to get insurance. Roughly, altogether, total about $1.2 to $1.3 million worth of insurance. Okay, that's going to run you about $3,600 and some odd dollars down, and it's going to run you about $360, $370 per month for 9 months out of the year. Okay. By the way, if you get your bond and you had to put a down payment on getting your bond and all that stuff, you don't pay your bond outright, you may have to pay what's called a quarterly bond fee. That quarterly bond fee is going to be somewhere between $800 and $1,000 per quarter. Okay, and then on top of that, you got to have all your compliance stuff in order. And of course, you got to get your business registered. You got to have your business registered as a legal entity with the state you're going to be operating out of. So you got to get your LLC, your sole proprietorship, your incorporation, or whatever the case may be. Depending on which state you're in, it's going to cost probably somewhere between $275 and $475 to get that done. Okay, so once you've done all that, and then you got your other stuff you got to get. You got to get your SAC code. You got to get cert letters and all that type of stuff. So it is very expensive to become a broker. Now, once you become a broker, the real question is, are you going to make money your first year as a broker? No, unless you have certain things in place. Now, I don't want to bust your bubble, but 92% of first-year brokers go out of business within their first year. 92% of all new brokers go out of business their first year because they did not understand or no one conveyed to them what I'm about to tell you right now. This industry was never meant and never will be fashioned in a way to support small independent brokerage firms. Why? Because shippers are not going to trust just anybody with their $1 billion worth of freight. Okay, the smallest shipper I know has $10 million worth of freight. Okay, most shippers out there have freight somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 million, a little over $1 billion worth of freight. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of, but that freight is worth a lot of money. They can afford to put that freight in the hands of people who are irresponsible or don't know what they're doing or don't have the ability to replace that freight if something happens. Okay, here's what I mean by that. One of the things you're gonna find out when you become a broker and you start contacting shippers, they're gonna ask you certain things before they even start negotiating with you. Before when you call up a shipper and say, "Hey, Mr. Shipper, I'm Jessica Brokerage Firm, and I'm a freight broker, and we are excited, we are motivated, we are gung ho, we're ready to go, we can move your freight. Let us help you move some of your freight." But hold on, Miss Jessica Brokerage, slow your roll there for a minute. Some things I gotta have before I trust my 20 million, 200 million, 700 million, $1 billion worth of freight with you. Okay? First of all, how long have you been a broker? Well, we've been a broker now for about 3 months. But call me back when you got at least 12 months season. Okay? Or you may say, or they may ask you, well, how long have you had your authority? Well, we've had our authority, now for about 5 months. But call me back when you got 9 to 12 months season on your authority. Shippers are going to want to see some things. Here's what they're going to want to see. They're going to want to see that you have at least 12 months season on your bond. They want to see that you have at least 8 to 12 months season on your authority. They're going to want to see that you have at least 5 to 7 references who will attest to the fact in writing that you have done business with them to the tune of about $200,000 to $300,000 per month for at least 6 months consecutively without a break. In other words, can somebody vouch for you other than your mom and your daddy? Okay, if you can't get somebody else who is in the industry, who has a reputable reputation that can vouch for you other than your mom and daddy, come back when you got more people who can vouch for you. Other things they're going to want to see. They're also going to want to see your Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score. That is like the credit reporting agency for businesses. And your Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score, what they're going to want to see is the high to mid to high 80s up to at least about somewhere between 82 and 92 minimum. Now, the best score you can have with Dun & Bradstreet is 100. So they're going to want to see that also too. What your Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score is. And you're only going to get a Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score if you've been in business for a while, which goes back to seasoning on your bond and your authority. Now, let's just say that you have a great talk game. You are the best salesperson in the world. You can talk a rat out of cheese. Okay? Let's say you're the best salesperson in the world. I mean, if you talk to a person long enough, boy, they'll give you everything. Give you the sharp by here. Take it. It's yours. Even if you are the best salesperson in the world, and they say, okay, well, we'll forego all of that, and we'll take a chance on you, but we're going to need you to prepay for 20% of the freight that we're going to give you ownership of. Ooh. Now remember, a small shipper has about $10 million worth of freight. Even if you find a rinky-dink, no-name, broke behind shipper that only has $1 million worth of freight, that's going to be at least $200,000. That's going to be at least $200,000, right? So, if you ain't got money in the bank, your financial, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, if you ain't got clout, somebody who will vouch for you other than your mom and your daddy, if you ain't got that business credit with the Dun & Bradstreet paydex score, if you ain't got some time behind you showing that you've been in the business for a while and you can stand the test of time, you ain't got a snowball chance of hell of making money as your first year as a broker. Now, other freight broker traders, they ain't gonna tell you that. Why? Because they want you to go ahead and shut that money, take their training course, and have you to find that stuff out later. But then it'll be too late, right? It's too late for you to find it out then. Too late. Too late. Now, but people say, well, Calvin, you came into the business your first year, you made money. Yes, I did. But no, I didn't at the same time. Because when you all saw me posting my videos when we were hiring, bringing on our new branches and building our brokerage firm to 79 branches strong across the United States, here's what you all did not see. That was in 2017 when you all saw me post my videos and hiring and do all that stuff. But what you didn't see was late 2015 and 2016, I started my own trucking company in 2015 under the same name, the RBBS Transport LLC, which was the same name that I used for my brokerage firm. So in 2016, my trucking company was active from 2015 to 2016 to 2017. But in mid 2015, after I had started my trucking company in early part of 2015, in mid 2015, I went ahead and got my broker's bond. I went ahead and got my broker's authority. Woo! Talk to me, y'all. I went ahead and got that stuff. Now I held off on getting my broker's insurance until the last minute. You can get your authority, get your bond and all that stuff, but then you got it. They give you 9 months grace period to get your insurance and have your insurance in place. As long as you're not operating, not doing business, not out there moving freight as a broker. So what did I have? I had my trucking company, which I had my own authority as my own trucking company, and I had my broker's authority simultaneously, both under the name of RBBS Transport LLC. So while I'm driving and running as a trucking company, as an owner operator, my bond on my brokerage firm and my authority on my brokerage firm was getting seasoned at the same time. During that time, I am running freight for companies like FedEx, Walt Disney, Walmart, Amazon, General Foods, Procter & Gamble, all these different companies I'm running freight for, these huge lumber companies, and doing business, running stuff to and from the ports and all this other stuff. So I'm running these loads, and I'm running these loads, and these loads are worth money. These loads, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 loads. Some of them loads worth $1 million, and I'm running them under my trucking company, which is the name RBBS Transport LLC, which is also happen to be the same name as my brokerage firm, RBBS Transport LLC. But I'm not operating as a broker, I'm just driving my truck. So 2016 hits. What do I have? I've got seasoning, both on my bond and on my what? My authority. I've got plenty of references I can go to that will attest to the fact that they've been doing business with RBBS Transport LLC to the tune of $500, $600, $700, $800, $1 million per month for at least a year and a half. So I got my references. I've got a Dun & Bradstreet payday score because that RBBS Transport LLC has been doing business, great business, delivering loads on time. My Dun & Bradstreet payday score was a 98. And to go ahead and solidify myself as a bona fide broker that shippers can depend on, I went out and I got myself some investors. Because you got to have that money. I went out and I talked to everybody who I thought had money. I talked to hospitals, I talked to doctors, I talked to dentists, I talked to lawyers, I talked to insurance companies, I talked to car dealers, I talked to rappers, I talked to athletes, pro athletes, I talked to accountants, I talked to just about everybody. I finally landed 2 investors. One was a prominent law firm here in Tallahassee, and the other one was a professional sports management firm. Okay, they each one of them invested $266,000, and the other one invested $289,000. So there I was. Now I had my investors. I had over $600,000 in the bank. I'm looking good. I'm looking good when I go to Shippers. I'm looking good when I go to Shippers. Even though when I jumped out there in 2000, even though when I jumped out there in 2017 as a broker, I've had my season since 2015. You see what I'm saying? So on paper, when I went to them Shippers and they looked me up, so your bonds got almost a year and a half of season. You had your what's called this long? You got all these great references. FedEx. Oh boy, FedEx. You work with FedEx. Oh, you work with Walt Disney, Walmart, and Sam's, and Costco's, and okay. Well, let's look at here. Well, Mr. Butler, what kind of money? What's your financials look like? They going. I give my bank statements to pull up my bank statement. Oh, you got $760,000 in the bank. That's a brokerage firm. That's a first year brokerage firm. That's decent. Okay, so you can, if you need to prepay for some freight, you got that. If we need to do some stuff and you have to pay for some stuff, you got that. You stable. You good to go. You what we're looking for. That's right. Ooh wee. That's exactly what someone said. Ooh wee, you look good. you know how when you go in the club, you run up like, ooh wee, you look good. That's how you have to present yourself when you become a broker. When you're trying to become a broker, you got to present yourself in the best light. Okay, that's what you got to do. Now, the upside of that is my first year operating as a broker. Actual operating as a broker, I made over $3.7 million. Now, did I keep all that 3.7? No, because I had to pay my investors back. Because remember, I had two investors who had invested. I had two investors who had invested to the tune of almost a little over $600,000. I had to pay them back. Now they didn't just want their $266,000 and $289,000 back. They wanted that plus some interest. They wanted double what they invested in order for me to buy out of that investment deal and get my company back to me. Because when they became investors, they wanted to put some people in place in my corporate structure to look after and represent and protect their interests in my company. So that's how, when I first started out, I was a COO, not the CEO of my brokerage firm. I was chief operations officer because I knew what I was doing. I was the person running that company. But they put in a CEO, a chief executive officer, because that person had ties to the law firm, and that person didn't know a damn thing about brokering freight, dispatching freight. Hell, he didn't even know where his coffee came from. All he knew was he got out the coffee pot, poured his cup, he drank it. Okay? He didn't know anything about shipping, trucking, brokering, freight, nothing. But he knew that he had to watch that money. Okay, so that's why they put him in as CEO. I was COO, and then we had another person who was there representing the sports management firm. He was the VP of executive operations. Those people were there in my company just to kind of look over things and make sure that the money that was invested was being put to the right use and was doing what it was supposed to be doing. Now, after I made that $3.7 million, I paid them each about $1.8 million. I'll take that back. I paid them each about about $1.2, $1.3 million, whatever the case may be. And that bought me out of I was able to buy my company back 100% where it was mine again. Okay. That's business, folks. That's how you have to operate when you're thinking about business on that level. And brokering is on that level, because a small brokerage firm can make $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10, $12, $20 million. Do you all realize that these brokerage firms out there now, do y'all realize what TQL made? Here, let me show y'all. I can show y'all what TQL what some of the top brokerage firm made last year. TQL profit forecast for 2022. Let me show y'all something here. This is what brokering looks like. TQL, economic news, insight, market outlook, TQL in the news. Trying to find these profit margins for TQL. I think I can find it here. TQL. Okay. I think I can find it here. Some of this stuff you have to look for it, but it's all public information. You can find this stuff if y'all look hard enough for it. TQL, largest Charlotte area company. Hold on, let me go back. Oh, I thought I was in Google. I'm not in Google. My bad. Let me go back to let me go to Google. I hate this computer jumps over to Yahoo. I don't know why it does that, but Yahoo is not a good search. It's not a good search engine. TQL. Earnings report. All right, here we go. I want y'all to take a look at this. TQL became a nearly $8 billion company. Let me go ahead and show y'all what we're talking about here. So when you're thinking about brokering, you are joining that billionaires club, okay? If you do it right. If you do it right. If you do it halfway piss poor, you're gonna make a few $1 million. As a broker. If you do it, decent, you're gonna be in the hundreds of millions of dollars in profit margins when it comes up to brokering. Make no mistake about it, brokering is the top of the food chain when it comes to making money within this industry. It is. It is. It is. But is it for everyone? No. I hate these clickbait. This is just clickbait. I hate that. Don't y'all hate that? Give me something give me what I'm looking for. All right. You got to go through all this clickbait stuff just to get to what you're really looking for. All right. Cincinnati's largest private company sets its sights on $5 billion in revenue. That's TQL. Okay. And we all know who TQL is, right? Where's the article? Continue reading with your the ones you see. That's what I mean by clickbait. You can read it, but you got to do a subscription just to read it. Let's see if I can find something that's not clickbait. Let's go to fortune.com. We got all this clickbait. I hate clickbait. But you all get what I'm talking about. Brokering is a monster. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what. All right. Here we go. Total Quality Logistics, the nation's second largest freight brokerage firm. They're not even the largest one. Posted a record year in 2020 with revenue of $4.1 billion. Y'all forgive me for a second. Hey. There's something you need like right now because like I'm literally in the middle of, well, my phone is upstairs. I'm in class. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Everybody, please forgive me. Um, when you're in this type of situation and when people need something, they call on you all the time. So y'all give me a second. I've got to do some stuff. My sister is calling. She needs some stuff. And of course, you know, when they need stuff, they need it like right away. Right? So I do apologize. Let me pause my share here for a minute and I will be back with you all in just a second. Sorry about this, everybody. Y'all give me a second. I've got to help take care of some stuff. Um, Something my sister needs real quick. When I say by need, I mean like money. So y'all give me a second. Let me take care of getting this over to her real quick, and then I'll be right back. So let me pause my share. All right, I do apologize. uh, Look, when you all get to a point and you are successful and you all have got your money coming in right and everything, I'm I'm going to tell you all right now. You become the go-to for your entire family when they have an emergency. Don't get me wrong, I love my family. God knows I love them. I love them to death. I do. I do. I love them all. But it is a burden sometimes when you are looked upon as the person that has to solve all their problems. Okay. I'm not trying to put them out there like that, but I'm just saying it becomes a burden sometimes when you have to be the one to be responsible for solving all their problems. Okay. Um, um, so, so, so that's just how it is. Right? It's a lot better. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot better than when I was homeless And you know, when I was, you know, couldn't get any help from anybody, man, you had to do it all on your own. But now that you're in a position, it seems like everybody wants to be your favorite cousin, your favorite aunt, your favorite, you know, uncle, your favorite this, you're everybody's favorite. But when you were homeless, and you know, you know, it's amazing how, you know, you couldn't get in touch with anybody. You know, all of a sudden everybody's phone was going to voicemail, and you know, you know, you knock on doors, nobody's never home, and so, but you know, hey, that's life, right? But that's life. But um, but you know, if you keep, you know, pushing toward what you're trying to accomplish, and you stay true to yourself, God has a way of reversing roles. You know, God has a funny sense of humor. I'm not gonna lie to you. God has a funny sense of humor, and this is one of the, you know, parts of the sense of humor that, you know, when you look back on it now, you can see, wow, God has a real funny sense of humor. He really does. But anyway, um, if y'all kind of feel me on that, everybody just give me a thumbs up. But anyway, let's move on. All right. But yeah, brokering is great money. It is the top of the food chain when it comes, you know, to the freight and trucking industry. That's where you want to be, but make sure you take the right steps to get there. Because if you rush into that, if you rush into this brokering thing without knowing what's involved, without knowing what you're going to need to be successful, without having the right things in place that are going to put you, you know, in the mix of things, you could ruin it for yourself, and you can spoil yourself on the industry, and you'll find yourself getting out of it and never wanting to come back, and you just kind of squandered a great opportunity. So be careful. Make sure you got everything that you need in place before you become a broker. Okay. If you all are thinking about taking a freight broker training um platform, first of all, make sure the people that you're in anything, if you got to be signing up for a training platform, you're gonna pay you good hard money. Wouldn't it help if the person who was so-called training you actually spent some time driving a truck, and maybe spend some time, you know, running their own truck as an owner operator? If you want to take freight broker training, you want to know that the person actually owned a brokerage firm and ran a successful brokerage firm at one time or another. If you're taking a dispatch training program, you want to make sure the person that you're taking training from actually ran a dispatch firm or is running a dispatch firm and is somewhat successful at that. Okay. I mean, that's common sense. And what you have nowadays, you got a lot of these people who have come into the dispatch training and freight broker training, you know, here in the last 3 to 4 years. Not half of them, well, about 90% of them have never owned a brokerage firm. They never owned a dispatch firm. They've never driven a truck. Never driven a truck. Never been in the mountains. Never done any of that stuff. They just, you know, jumped on Google, saw people had training platforms, kind of mimicked what they did and copied their style or copied their platform. Like, I'm not gonna call their names, but there's some platforms out there that copied my platform like verbatim, even almost down to this to the name. The only thing that changed on it was the first part of the name. Everything else was still logistics learning centers. So look, and you got a lot of these people that never driven a truck, don't know anything about trucking, don't know anything about it. They just copied what someone else did, and they came out and they put together their platform, which is really just a money grab, but they don't really know anything about this industry. Okay, and that's going to become very apparent here real soon, because the last 3 years we was in a bubble. Rates were high, load counts were high, and now everybody's saying, well, what's wrong with the race? What's wrong with the load? There's nothing wrong with the race. There's nothing wrong with the load count. What's wrong with the industry? There's nothing wrong with the industry. The industry is just getting back to what it normally has been. Because what you all have been experiencing the last 3 years was a bubble. It was a fantasy. It was based on false need, a false need for freight, a false demand, which was created by the pandemic and the panic that the pandemic created, and people were just buying up stuff because they felt like they needed a lot of stuff, but they really didn't need it at all, and it created this false bubble. Then you got the political scheme, the geopolitical scheme, things that happened with the war in Ukraine, and we cut off most of our grain because that's where most of the grain comes from, in case you all didn't know it. Our fuel got kind of shortage. Why? Because the Russian fuel pipeline runs through Ukraine, and yes, we get a lot of our fuel from that area. Not all of our fuel comes from the Arab nations. A very small percentage of it comes from the Arab nation. Most of our fuel comes from the Russian province. Runs through that Russian pipeline that comes to Alaska. That's got to run through where? Ukraine. You guessed it. 80% of Europe's power is generated by the nuclear power plant in Ukraine. So in case you all are wondering why we're so upset and everything was in such an uproar about Ukraine, because that's that chokehold for the money, man. In case y'all didn't realize that. That's why fuel prices shot up. That's why the economy, everything, food and everything started costing more, because we couldn't get the grain that we needed, which comes through Ukraine. Now that just rhymes. That's not by design. Just so happens that rhymes. Grain coming from Ukraine. So we couldn't get the grain that we needed that came through from Ukraine. All right. So look, and now what's happening? People have gotten over this pandemic thing. Now we got vaccines. We got a treatment. We got vaccine. We got all the stuff that can treat COVID now. So people have gotten back in their right minds. They're starting to go back out, go back to work. Jobs have came back. Unemployment is now back down to where it was way before all this stuff happened. Jobs are coming back. Fuel prices are coming down. All this stuff is happening now. So guess what? The freight industry readjusted itself back down to where it was. Right? And everybody wants to say, well, all this stuff was created by the president. President Biden called that's bullshit. Now, I'm not political or anything. That's bullshit, though. No president controls the economy. I don't care who it is. Republican, Democrat, Independent, no president controls the economy. If that's the case, why not give him credit for the fuel price starting to come back down? If that's the case, why not give him credit for all the jobs that were lost? Now we have 3 times as many jobs that have replaced those jobs. If that's the case, if you're going to put the fault on someone for that, give them the credit too at the same time when the stuff starts rebounding back. Come on, people. Come on, people. Get in your right mind. Get in your right mind and get out of all this BS that you all are. I'm on this side. I'm on that side. Well, this side does this, that. Come on, that's bullshit. You all know it. Okay? And nothing shows that better than the freight industry. Because this is a recession-proof business. This is a recession-proof industry. And this industry always adjusts itself to match what the economy is doing. And now that the economy is getting better, guess what? This industry is coming back down to its norm. When fuel prices were high, rates went up. When people went out there and started buying up all the stuff and created a false sense of demand, the load counts went up. Hell, you were seeing 10,000, 12,000 loads in Texas every single day for the last 3 years. You were seeing 5,000, 6,000 loads in Florida. You were seeing, my God, 1,200 loads in North Dakota. Where does that happen? In what world was that supposed to be real? You got people in the industry, these freight broker trainers and dispatch trainers and these freight brokers out there talking about, well, what's wrong with the industry now? The industry is going, something's wrong with the industry. Nothing's wrong with the industry. What was wrong was you. You didn't know what the hell you were doing. That's what was wrong. Y'all know me, I don't play nice. I play the truth. I don't necessarily play nice. I don't sugarcoat stuff. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I'm here to give you all the truth and tell you all what you're going to need to do to be successful in this industry. Plain and simple. Okay? I'm here to show you all how to make money within this industry. No matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the rates are doing, I'll show you all how to be profitable and how to make money, how to keep your trucks profitable, and how to keep them making money no matter what's going on. No, there's not a food shortage. There's not a food shortage. Food is in plenty supply. It's just that we can't get the there's a blockage on getting the food to where it needs to go. Because here's the thing, Ukraine, 80% of the world's grain comes from Ukraine. Does everybody realize? You all realize there's a war going on right now in Ukraine. Russia has attacked Ukraine. They shut off that supply chain. It's all about control of the world's economy. That's what this war is about. In case you all didn't realize that, this is not just Putin wanting to take over some small country in Europe. No, Putin ain't no dummy. He understands that if he takes control of Ukraine, he controls the supply of oil. He controls the supply of grain. He controls 80% of the power supply to all of Europe. Really? When you take people's fuel, their food, and their power, you got it. You got it. Them three right there, that's it. Your food, your fuel, and your power. If you, come on, wake up, people. Wake up. That's what's happening with the rates and the load count now. That's why everything shot up like that. Okay, and lasted for 3 years. It started with the pandemic, but then the war in Ukraine just amplified it and made it last as long as it did. But now things are starting to correct itself. Things are starting to correct itself. Fuel prices are coming down. Fuel is now below $4 a gallon again, and it's steady dropping. People are going back to work. All the jobs that were lost, they've now been replaced 3 times over. 3 times over. The average minimum wage for food for restaurants and these McDonald's is $15, $16 an hour now. Come on now. All right, let's get back on subject. Let me go back and see if I can get some of these questions answered. But that's my answer to should you become a broker and how you should become a broker. If you want to, if you have everything in place that you need to really be successful as a broker, it's easy to become a broker. The hard part is making money after you become one. Okay. It's easy to become a broker. That's just about getting your bond, getting your insurance, getting your authority. You can go to onehourauthority.com and get all that. That's the easy part. Now, after that, that's the hard part. Maintaining, surviving that first year, surviving that seasoning process. If you don't have a plan to deal with that, don't delude yourself or fool yourself into thinking you're gonna make money as a broker and you're gonna be this broker, you're gonna make these billions of dollars and everything. If you can't survive that first year, you ain't gonna make the money as a broker. I mean, come on. And you just that just ain't gonna happen. That just ain't gonna happen. Okay, you don't go from not knowing how to swim and jumping in the ocean and think you're gonna be a swimmer. You're gonna drown. You're gonna drown because them swells, because them waves in the ocean. Just the impact, though, that'll kill you alone. Okay, just cause you done jumped over here in a little kiddie pool, in the 4 feet water, and you know how to backstroke, don't mean that you know how to swim in the ocean. Okay, brokering is the ocean. Dispatching is a lake. Big, great money, but it ain't broken. Don't fool yourself. Okay. Are there dispatch firms that are making millions of dollars? Yeah. But there are brokerage firms that are making billions of dollars. Okay. That's the difference. And along with that increase, that big difference in the potential of money, there's a big difference in how you operate. There's a big difference in how you have to structure your company to be successful and to survive that ocean. So the risks and the dangers come with that. The big risks and dangers come with that too. So just be aware of that. Okay. And if you're gonna want to join a training platform that's gonna successfully guide you and mentor you in that area, just make sure you're joining the right training platform. Okay. Is my training platform the right one? Hell yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. You know, can I speak for others? No. I mean, I really can't. I mean, there are a couple out there that are decent. There's one other out there who I know he knows what he's doing, but you know, for the most part, a lot of these freight broker trainers that came in the last 3 to 4 years, they don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of flack on Facebook. They're gonna call me up and say, "What are you talking about? We don't know what the hell," because you don't know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know how to negotiate margins on with a shipper, you don't know what the hell you're doing. When I started talking about margins and all this stuff, about a year ago, other freight broker trainers said, "What the hell are you talking about? There ain't no such thing as one. Why would a shipper give me a margin on freight that he's already got money I'm allocated to pay the carrier on? Don't I just take that money and take my money out from that and give the carrier on what's left?" See, that's how they're trained. If that's what you're doing, I'm as a broker, then you don't know what the hell you're doing. Plain and simple. Hey, Damon, thank you for joining us today, man. What's going on, man? Damien just joined us. Darren Stevens over at DZR, one of my star students who's doing very, very well. He just joined us live here. He's probably busy. Even though he joins in, he's always busy dealing with brokers and carriers and things like that. So he'll jump in here at some point in time when he finishes doing what he's doing. Let me go ahead and see if we get some of these questions here.
What's up, Calvin? Yeah, I'm free up today, man.
Oh, you free today, man?
Well, I got one, but yeah, I'm free. It's kind of open for right now, but I'll say I'm free.
All right. We're just having today. I'm doing Q&A. This is the day where people get to ask me questions about brokering and all this other stuff, and we just got to talking about the difference between brokering and dispatching. Dispatching is a very good industry and it makes a lot of money, but it ain't broken. Broken has the potential to do billions. TQL $4 or $5 billion last year. And places like that, and even a small brokerage firm would do 20 to $30 million. And if you don't even know what the hell you're doing, really, you'll do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and $10 million as a broker. But the downside is you got to survive that first year. Right? You got to get through that first year. Because that first year, you're not going to really make any money as a broker. So if you can survive that first year, if you got what it takes to get through that first year, then you got a good shot at being successful and making money as a broker. Now, there's ways you can survive that first year. And I was just sharing with them how I did it by bringing on investors, by actually activating my bond and my authority a year before I actually started brokering. Because I had to wait to get that season. I was running my trucking company, and at the same time, I had my broker's bond and my authority, which was simultaneously getting seasoning during that time. And I was building my references and all that stuff. You got to have in place. So when you do start brokering and you're going out to these shippers, and they ask you for this stuff, you got it. Okay, and that's what a lot of freight broker trainers were not doing. They were not telling these people the real. The truth about jumping into brokering and your first year as a broker. So I'm just kind of giving people some wake up calls. But anyway, where we at here? Let's see. I got some questions. I got a bunch of questions here. I want to learn about the training program. Oh, someone says here. Oh, all right. When we get to you, no owner operator. I'm just making sure that I'm caught up on the questions. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, we got that one. We answered that question. How much time do I spend? What time do you spend with problems? How much time do I spend with problems? Um, I don't spend a whole lot of time with problems because I solve problems before they become problems. Damon, Darren,
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah. The best way to deal with problems is to solve them before they become problems, right?
Correct.
But I don't care how smooth your operation is, some things always pop up, right?
Always.
Always. A driver missed their appointment time. Driver had an accident. Driver got pulled over. He's way overweight and it can't be corrected. A driver, you get to the shipper and they want to charge a lumper fee and the broker don't want to pay a lumper fee. Um, that's a million. I mean, that's a million and one problems that could pop up. So that's the industry. But the best way to deal with problems is to deal with it right there. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, "Oh, I can't deal with this thing." Go ahead and deal with it. Darren, do you think that's good advice?
I mean, that is a great advice because as I say, problem sometimes when you do get rate con and you see certain things on there, don't just sign it and go ahead with it. You have to question those issues because
Exactly.
you'll have a load weighs 44,000, 45,000 pounds. And when the driver going down the road, that truck is way overweight. So those stuff you have to look into before it gets to that point.
Exactly. Solve the problem. Address and solve problems before they become a real problem. Okay, that's the name of the game. Okay, that's what you are here for as a dispatcher and even as a broker. Dispatchers more so than brokers. Okay, brokers a lot of times they create their own problems. Would you say that, Darren?
Right, because sometimes as a broker as well, which I do find out, a shipper want all the load to go on the truck when at the end of the day that truck that load is too heavy. And
Yeah.
a broker will say, well, we want all of it to go at once or no deal. And what happened, a broker will still take it and it causes a problem with the driver.
Exactly. So as brokers, do not create your own problems. Okay, don't create your own problems. If the load is too heavy, if it's too much weight, you can't get it all on there, just book 2 trucks. Come on. Break it up. Make instead of making it a full load, make it 2 partial loads. Problem solved. Easy problem to solve. Right there is a very easy problem to solve. Instead of you making it 2 full loads, make it, 2 partial loads with being like 3/4 weight full on each truck. Instead of trying to pack all that weight on one truck, and then the driver gets out of the road and gets pulled over, and then the truck can't continue because the driver can't adjust his tandems to distribute the weight evenly on the
Right.
way it needs to be distributed. Now the truck gets shut down there at the DOT inspection place. The truck is shut down, right? The driver's got to drop the load right there. He can unhook it and leave that load, but now you got to find a way to get another truck out there to take some of the freight off that. So now you got a problem with getting another truck out there with a trailer and getting someone there who can take the freight off of that trailer and put some on the other trailer.
I ran into that situation, so I know. I know what happened with that.
Exactly. That's a crazy huge problem that could have been avoided simply by you, the broker, saying, well, this is too much weight. Instead of making this one load, let's make this 2 partial loads. Don't create problems before they become a problem. And 90% of the problems that brokers have, they created them. They created them by not addressing the real issue beforehand. Okay, so I don't spend a whole lot of time on problems because I have become very good at predicting stuff that's going to happen. Because when you get that Raycon, a lot of your problems can be solved by carefully and properly reviewing that Raycon. If you are a dispatcher, now if you are a broker, a lot of problems can be done by reviewing your shipper's contract and going over each one of the loads and making sure that those loads are in compliance with DOT guidelines. Okay, because shippers will try you though, won't they, Darren? A shipper will try you.
Yeah, they will.
They're gonna try it because they try to make as much money as possible. Like anybody else, they try to keep most of their money, so they're gonna try you. It's your job as a broker to make sure that you evaluate each load you get from a shipper and make sure that it is in full compliance with DOT across the board. And if you do that, if you spend a lot of your time doing that, that would solve a lot of problems before they even become problems. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, we got someone there said, thanks. I know a lot has changed. Okay, what dry van? What day are you looking for? I already answered that one. I want to learn about the training program. All right, someone says, I want to learn about the training program and partnership. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about, if you want to learn about the partnership, I'm assuming you're talking about our trademark usage opportunity, where you can become an owner of your own RBBS logistics learning centers. Okay, now our training program, this is our training program. Okay, our training program, our online training program is, we train, how many convenience of your home. Okay, our online platform will train you to earn 100K plus from home dispatching or broker freight and provide the online network tools, resources, and training to ensure your success. When you join our platform, you get access to more than 100 load boards. Now, as a broker, that really doesn't apply to you, because as a broker, if you join our platform to learn brokering, you're going to need your own paid access to load boards, because you have to post freight to load boards. That's how brokers get their loads out there. That's how they market and advertise the loads that they have available. And in order to do that, there's no way you can't do that with group access. You got to have your own dedicated one-on-one, access to a load board. Okay, because you're gonna have to upload your freight to it and all this other stuff and all this other stuff, this is that. So as a broker, that really does not apply to our broker program, because that access to one of the load boards is really for our dispatchers and the owner operators who go on our platform. As brokers, you got to have your own load board that you are paying for, because you're going to have to post freight that you are taking ownership of to those load boards. Now, the rest of this stuff does apply to both brokers, dispatchers, and owner operators. Okay, as you join our platform to learn dispatching, you don't have to pay for load boards, because we're going to give you access to more than 100 load boards. We have what's called group access. We're also going to give you all the rest of this stuff applies to both brokers and dispatchers and owner operators. You're going to get access to more than 140,000 hours of operation training videos. You're going to get access to more than 19 million direct shippers. Now, that is of special benefit to brokers, because for brokers to make money, they got to have shippers, right? And when we say 19 million direct shippers, that's what we mean. Every registered shipper in the United States, which you're going to get access to when you join our platform. And not just any access, you're going to get their name of the shipper, phone numbers, emails. You're going to get the name of the person who is in charge of making the decision. Not just a phone number where the secretary picks up. The number you call is going to be the person's cell phone number who's in charge, VP of operations, director of shipping, vice president of the company, distribution plant manager. You're going to have their title there, their name, their phone number, their personal email address in their company. David Johnson at shipmyfreight.com. Daryl Strawberry at goodsfreightsupply.com. Okay? You're not just going to have some general phone number or some general email address that you send to the company and no one ever gets back to you. When you call up, you get that person on the phone, you got to know this is the person who can make a decision. They can make a decision while they're on the phone call with you. When you send that person an email, you know it's getting to the person who can make a decision. Okay? You're also going to get access to every registered owner operator in the United States. That is a great benefit to both brokers and dispatchers. You're also going to get access to our live training, which is every broker training every Saturday morning, 10:15 till about 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But dispatch training every Thursday night from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. You're going to get access to our logistics library that has every word, phrase, and term ever used in trucking. So you'll be able to understand the lingo and be up on all the phrases and terms, everything you need to understand. You're going to get access to our network of more than 2,967 industry professionals. That is both through our private Facebook page and our private clubhouse group, where you all get to come together and talk to each other, help each other to understand the industry, help each other to make money. You're there to network with each other. These are all freight brokers, firm owners, dispatch firm owners, owner operators, trucking plant distribution managers, shippers, the whole 9 yards. You all, it's just a network of industry professionals. Okay, and of course, our most popular enrollment right now is $349.95 plus tax on your enrollment fee, and just $39.95 per month to have continued access to all your back office tools, resources, training support, and mentorship. Now, I said that it's $349.95 right now. That price is going to change. Why? Because this goes into talking about what the gentleman just asked me about our partnership program, our trademark usage opportunity, where you can become a where you can become an owner of your very own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Now, as you see here, now you can own your very own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and its subsidiaries. Okay, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers LLC trademark usage opportunity, $2.3 million a month in the earning potential. Is the earning potential of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and its subsidiaries. I'm not exaggerating that, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Click here for presentation details. You click on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all a link to this detailed presentation. You all can go and you can review this yourselves. I'm going to put it here. I'm in the chat. It's detailed presentation. There it is. You all should have it. Okay. I just sent it out on YouTube. You all should have it. You can access it. You're going to click on that, and that'll take you over to the detailed presentation. To sum this up real quick, the reason why I said the price is what it is right now, but that is going to change because we are actively bringing on owners of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Ms. Jen Williams has her own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Darren Stevens is getting his own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Tasha Washu is getting her own RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Ms. Barbara Jenkins already has her own RBBS Logistics Learning Center. And we have several others who have already pledged and committed to getting their own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Now, when that happens, when we, as we bring on these RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, currently we are seeking to get our collegiate accreditation for our vocational school. The RBBS Logistics Learning Center is more than just an online training platform. We have an actual vocational school located here in Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, it's an actual logistics, freight, broker, agent, and dispatch agent vocational school. $7,500 is the tuition that covers air travel, that covers hotel accommodation for the entire 2 weeks of the course. It covers 3 meals per day, restaurant meals. It covers 4 Uber and Lyft vouchers per day while they are here for the 2 weeks. And our vocational school has guaranteed career placement. Okay, all of the trainers and instructors at the vocational school are owners of brokerage firms and state licensed dispatch firms. And they have already agreed and committed to offering a position to every student who graduates our 2-week course with a grade of 70 or better. We are the only vocational school that offers guaranteed career placement. Okay, so that's the vocational school side of it. All right. Now, with that being said, once we get this collegiate accreditations, and we get, and that's going to lead us to getting approved for the VA Chapter 31 programs, all these federal government programs that will pay to send people to both our vocational school and our online training platform. Okay, give y'all an example. Approximately 60,000 new truck drivers come into the industry every single year. 60,000 new truck drivers come into this industry every single year, right? How, and remember, truck driving school, every truck driver has to go through truck driving school. Every CDL operator has to go to truck driving school. Truck driving school on average runs $5,500 to $6,500 for 4 weeks of training. Do you think that 60,000 plus truck drivers who come into this industry every year paid for their own fee to attend truck driving school? Darren, do you think they paid their own fee to attend truck driving school?
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. What was the question?
60,000 new truck drivers coming to the industry every year. Okay.
Right.
Truck driving school on average costs $5,500 to $6,500 for 4 weeks training. Do you think 60,000 people paid out of their own pocket to attend truck driving school?
No.
Every year? No. Only about 3% of the people who attend truck driving school pay out of their own pocket. The vast majority, 97% of everybody who attends truck driving school, that's 97% of 60,000 new truck drivers every year, are paid for by some type of government program. Veterans VA Chapter 31, HUD, housing, people who are on food stamps, people who are chronically unemployed. What's the other one? Housing Authority. What's another one? Welfare. Federal corrections for their non-violent offenders. Some state prisons paid to send those people to truck driving school. Why? Because it gets them off of the government programs. So with that being said, once we get those approved, we're going to have government agencies paying to send people to both our vocational school and our online training. So when that happens, the online training is going to go up from $349.95 on your enrollment to roughly $1,500 to $2,400. Now, what justifies that? Because we now going to have more of everything. When you join the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, you're not only going to get access to my training, my little pretty faces y'all see every day. I know y'all love seeing me because I'm pretty, I'm handsome, and all that. But I know y'all just love seeing me every day, every Saturday and every Thursday night, whatever the case may be. But now you're going to have access to Darren Stevens' training platform, Miss Jen Williams' training platform, Miss Barbara Caldwell's training platform, Miss Tasha Washington's training platform, because all those different training platforms are going to be under the same name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. They're going to have their own YouTube channel. Miss Jen Williams already has her Spotify podcast up and going right now that you all, as students, you can go to and watch. You go to my Facebook page, you go here and you can see her Spotify stuff that is already up that you all can go and watch her Spotify channel. Let me see if I can find it here. Where's her Spotify, Jen Williams. Find her thing. There it is right there. Miss Jen Williams. You see here, we've already congratulations to the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, the RBBS National Dispatch Network, and the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers Group is proud to introduce a new Spotify broadcast, Let's Talk Trucking, brought to you by RBBS Logistics Learning Centers 3. That's Miss Jen Williams', that's her. Trademark usage owned and operated by Jen Williams. Our company and platform is scaling to the next level and will become the go-to training platform industry-wide, featuring more trainers, more mentors, more YouTube channels, more live training, all for one subscription enrollment that will include access to more than 100 load boards, access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos, access to more than 19 million direct shippers, access to every registered owner operator in the United States, access to several live training courses, access to our logistics library, access to our network of 2,967 industry professionals. Now, right now, you can still get all of that for $49.95 plus tax on your enrollment and a monthly subscription of just $39.95. But that is going to change, people. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to change, but I can tell you once we get that collegiate accreditation and we get these government programs, get these government entities on board, it's going to change. The price is going to go up. And now that we have more owners working on that same problem, we're going to get there a lot faster, a lot sooner than later. Okay? Now, with that being said, you all can come here to our Facebook page and you can click on Miss Jen Williams' podcast. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a link to her podcast right now, where you can go ahead and pull up her podcast and stuff. I'm going to give y'all the link to it, where you can listen to her podcast. I'm going to copy this in YouTube real quick. This is her podcast that you all can go and listen to if y'all want to go in and check out Miss Jen. Oh shoot, that's the long version. Give me a second. Where can I find this Spotify? Let me see if I can. Okay, let me do it this way. There we go. Short one. You can go ahead and pull up her Spotify thing and listen to her Spotify. There it is right there. That we're pulling up right now. All the episodes. So far, she has 2 episodes out that you all can listen to. Okay, so you all can go listen to that now. But yeah, you all are going to be able to get access to all of us now, all of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. So it's not just me, not just my training, not just me as a mentor anymore. It's going to be several mentors, several trainers, several YouTube channels, a whole bunch more YouTube content, a lot more different training platforms, and the whole 9 yards. Darren Stevens has great knowledge when it comes to auto hauling and other areas of this industry. He has a lot to pass on to all of you all, and you all are going to love his platform just as much as you love what you have right now. So we are growing, we are expanding. Now, if you want to be a part of that and become an owner, if you want to become an owner of your own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, we have 4 levels which you can come in as an owner. Let me find we got so much stuff open here. Here we go. Yeah. If you want to come in as an owner, there are 4 levels. I'm not going to go over this whole thing. You all can click on the link and go to it and read all this for yourself. But just to suffice this, some of the quick highlights. In this presentation, we break down each division of the RBBS Logistics Learning Center and each subsidiary and what the earning potential is of each one. Okay. And I show you all some stuff that I've never shown anybody, which is my earnings report from my Square account. Now, this earnings report right here is just from 3 years of doing the dispatch and freight broker training platform only. This does not include the Easy Lease platform. This does not include the vocational school. This does not include our new training platform for owner operators, how to run a truck. This does not include my YouTube channel money. This does not include, this is just strictly the dispatch training platform and the freight broker training platform. Strictly that. Okay? And as you all can see, in the last 3 years, at the time that I printed this, I had earned more than $528,000 in 3 years. Okay, that's real money. That's real money. More than $500,000 in 3 years on just the 2 training platforms. And now you have access to all of our trading platforms and our subsidiaries. Okay, if you decide you want to become an owner of the RBBS listeners, and we break down each one of those divisions and what the earning potential is for each one of them. Okay, now and then down at the bottom, we like I said, we have 4 levels you can come in at as an owner of the RBBS listeners. We offer 4 trademark usage fee agreement options. 1, 2 entry-level positions is $1,500 trademark usage fee and 40% of all revenue paid in the form of royalty compensation to the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers LLC. In other words, you keep 60% of all the revenue generated by your RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, and you pay 40% to myself or back to the company at the end of each month. That's a royalty payment. Now, the way this is set up, you're gonna have your own websites, same websites that I have, that generates, the signups and stuff. You're gonna create your own Square store. So when people click on your links on your website, it takes them to your Square store. Just like now, everything goes to my Square store. Click on it, and then when they pay for it, that money goes into my Square account. We're gonna set you up with your own Square account. So when they click on your links and pay for stuff, money's gonna go into your Square account. 100% of the money is gonna go into your account. You can transfer 100% of the money to your bank account. At the end of each month, you're gonna pull up your Square earnings report, and depending on which trademark you came in at, it's gonna be the amount of money you're gonna owe back to the RBBS Logistics Learning Center as royalty. If you came in at the $1,500 level, you're gonna owe 40% of the money you earn from your RBBS Logistics Learning Centers paid back to RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. If you come in at the $2,500 level, you're gonna keep 80%, and you're gonna pay 20% back to RBBS Logistics Learning Centers at the end of each month. If you come in at the $5,000 trademark level, you're gonna pay 10%, and you're gonna keep 90% of what you earn from the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. If you come in at the $10,000 trademark usage level, you're gonna pay out 5%, and you're gonna keep 95% of the money you earn from the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Now, let me give y'all some calculations here. In case y'all didn't know it, vocational schools, they are money makers. And our vocational school is set up to where we have 3 conference rooms. Each conference room can accommodate about 155 people. Each conference room can. However, with the social distancing guidelines set for by the state of Florida, we have to have 6 feet between, different, each person, and each station has to have a partition up. So with that being said, we can accommodate 55 students per classroom. So we're limiting our class size to 45 students each. We have 3 conference rooms that can hold 45 students each, and each course is 2 weeks. So therefore, we can run 6 courses per month. 6 courses per month. The tuition is $7,500. Okay, so if you take the tuition, $7,500 times minimum class size is 45 students for one class. That's $337,500 minus our overhead, what we're paying for the hotel accommodation. Excuse me. What we're paying for the hotel accommodation, what we're paying for, the Uber and Lyft voucher, what we're paying for the meals, the restaurant meals, what we're paying for the air travel to and from. So out of 7,500, out of each tuition, which is 7,500, we are profiting. I already know this because I already have done the calculation. We are profiting $4,866. That's what we're profiting, right? Because we're paying $2,634 for each person. That's what it costs us to bring each person down for that 2 weeks of running through the course. That's for paying our instructors, paying the, all the accommodations and stuff, and paying our lease on the property, which is like $3,500 per month. So that's what's coming out of each student's enrollment. Okay, so what we have left over is $4,800 4,866. Now, excuse me. Let's say that you are responsible for registering 27 students through your RBBS Logistics Learning Center's website, your registration site. Let's say you are responsible for registering 27 students that are going to be coming down to attend our the vocational school. Okay, let's say 27 students go through the government programs. However they get registered, 27 students. Let's say that that's what you are registered for all 6 courses that month. Because remember, we can run 6 courses per month, 6 classes per month. Excuse me. But we're going to do the numbers just on one class right now. Okay. So if you're responsible for bringing down 27 students, that's going to be that times 27. So that means your cut will be $131,382. Okay. Now, depending on which trademark you come in at, it's going to depend on how much of that money you're going to pay back to the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay. If you at the top level, which is 5%, you're going to pay 5% of that back. If you're at the next level at $5,000, you're going to pay 10% back. Let's say you're at the 10% level. If you're paying 10% back, so that's going to be minus 10%. It's going to be $13,138, which is going to leave you with this right here, $118,243. Now that's from just 1 month of you sending 27, of you registering 27 students for just the vocational school only. This does not include online platform, not include Easy Lease. This does not include our How to Run a Truck platform. This does not include your YouTube channel money. This doesn't include any of that. But just on that alone, on the vocational school alone, you're looking at that average per month, that times 12 months in a year, looking at $1.4 million a year is your cut from running your version of the RBBS and register students for our online, register students for our vocational school. That's potential earning for the vocational school only. Okay. Now I don't have time to go through all this stuff. We'll be here all day, but you all can go and you can read this. This presentation here, it has, all of the earning potential for each division. They're all broken down in here. And if there's something that you are interested in, contact me. There's some information here at the end of it. So where you can contact me, you can email me, or you can give me a call, 866-973-6445. If you are interested in this, as a matter of fact, there's the trademark agreement contract there for you all to review it. So we place that in there as well. But if you want to contact me, we'll give you the contact information. I'm going to put this on YouTube. If you all want to contact me about this and further discuss it, you can. And I'll be happy to talk with you. Or it should be an email. I'll be happy to send you all back the email packet that you all can take a look at. Okay? All right. More questions. Let's see what else we got down here. Other questions. Appreciating the genuine knowledge. Dispatching now. I'm starting my own brokerage firm. Okay, we answered that question. This D. And so brokering is the $1 billion. Yeah, brokering is the $1 billion club, Miss Greatness. Brokering is the $1 billion club. Okay. But you can't just walk your way into that $1 billion club. Okay. You may need to switch locations for a better connection. No, it's not my location. I don't know if you're talking about me, but it's not my location. Is this headset. I didn't get it charged up all the way, but it comes in and out. So far I think it's holding. You take your time. Yeah, okay, I guess talking about when I had to break away. Is there really a food shortage? No, we discussed that. There's not a food shortage. There's a there's a there's an interruption in the supply chain. It's what it is. Yeah, they do have the power over the economy. Um, yeah, they have no power over the economy. The presidents don't have any power. I'm over the economy. Is what we were talking about there. Things had to get back in order. I believe everything was done to say reset the economy. Yeah, things are now starting to revert back to the normal state. The rates, the freight, the load counts, all that stuff now is reverting back to where it normally was. And Darren Stevens can tell you that too. He can tell you because he's been in this game long enough to remember when it was hard to find a load that paid more than $2.75. Darren, you on here still?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, before 2019, before 2020, you could. I mean, it was hard to find a load that paid more than. I mean, when you saw a load that paid $3.25, you like, oh my God, that's a good paying freight, right there. I mean,
Yeah, you go crazy when you see stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, that was good paying freight. But long came the pandemic and all this panic, all of a sudden, rates jumped up to $10, $12, $13 a mile. And everybody thought that was the norm because it lasted for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Everybody thought that was the norm. But at the whole time, I have been telling you all for the last 2 years, this is not going to last. This is not normal. This is a bubble. And all it takes is one pinprick and boom. So guess what? Now we got gum all over our face because that bubble done popped, y'all. Okay? That bubble has popped. All right? So so now you got to know what you're doing. So all this training that you got from these people that came into the industry 2, 3 years ago, and they was training you from these high paying load boards and these high load counts in all these states, it don't mean a hill of beans now. It's worthless. 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 Because none of that applies anymore. Now you got to get back down to the real deal. You got to learn how to really evaluate freight. Okay? Join our dispatch training stuff on Thursday nights. And we show you how to really evaluate freight. Matter of fact, just go back and watch our latest dispatch training video, which we did this past Thursday on load acquisition. And to show you how to evaluate freight. Okay? On the load boards. Okay, so what you say, and so that's where the grain comes. Yeah, that's where most of the grain comes from. Good morning, Calvin and chat. I'm loving being a part of your program. Hey, we love having you as part of our program. It's your girl China. We love having you as part of our program. I think you just recently joined, and we love having you as part of our program. Yeah, one's an ocean and one's a lake. That's true. Brokering is an ocean. Dispatching is a lake. Now, the lakes are big. You make a lot of money in these lakes, but that ocean is huge. Okay, yes, and that's a lot more money. Okay, I'm not gonna. Somebody get off of here. I'm not gonna do this. Hello, China. It's your girl, China. Greatness. Okay, all right. China girl, what's up? Oh, y'all have a little conversation between yourselves. Okay, how long should we be seasoning? What's a good number? Uh, for brokers, shippers gonna want to see 8 to 12 month season, and that's kind of, and I say that because they want less seasoning on your authority, but more seasoning on your bond. Okay, shippers will sometimes tell you, well, if you had your authority for at least 8 months, 7 months, 8 months, that's good. But they want to see 9 to 12 months on your season, on your bond. So they're more particular about that bond than about your authority. Okay, so that's why I say 8 to 12 months. Okay, before a shipper is really gonna start taking you serious as a broker. detailed presentation. When exactly are you expecting to get your collegiate? And I want to get in before it gets too expensive. Like I said, we're working on that. I can't tell you we're going to get our collegiate. I mean, if I can tell you that, I can tell you what the winning numbers are to the lottery is going to be tonight. Right there. So that's not up.
That's correct.
That's not up to me. That's up to all the owners. Look, the more owners we have, the more people we have working on that problem. You understand? So if we can get quite a few people in as owners, then we can all attack that problem together, because it doesn't matter which one of us gets the approval, because we're all under the same name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Because when you do your trademark, when you get your trademark, you're going to have to set up a business. You're going to have to set up an actual business under the name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The name of your business has to be the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, and then it will have a number classification after that. RBBS Logistics Learning Center is Roman numeral 1. RBBS Logistics Learning Center Roman number 2. Ms. Jen Williams, hers is RBBS Logistics Learning Center Roman number 3. RBBS Logistics Learning Center Roman number 4. RBBS and so on and so on and so on. Okay, but you have to bear that name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. You're going to have to. You're going to be required to. You must set up your business bank account. The RBBS Logistics Learning Center Roman number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever your classification is, when you come in, that's going to have to be the name on your business bank account. Your bank account name and the name you have registered with the state, your auditors of incorporation, your number, the name you have registered with your EIN number with the IRS, the name you have set up with Square and your Square store in order to take credit card payments. All those have to be exactly the same. They have to be exactly the same. And the advantage to that is you are participating in a brand that's already been established. And when one of us gets something done, it benefits all of us as a whole. So if one of us is able to secure that VA Chapter 31 approval, that VA Chapter 31 approval will apply to all of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. If one of us is able to get the collegiate accreditation, that accreditation would apply to all of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay? Other ways that it benefits you, all the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers have the same name. When you set up your YouTube channel and it's the same name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, right now I have 8,500 subscribers on YouTube. That's what is fueling my ad revenue, because I get 55% of the ad revenue that's posted on the ads that are posted on each one of these videos. So you, as a RBBS Logistics Learning Center, are coming in on your own YouTube channel, and you create your YouTube channel, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers 6, 7, 4, whatever the nomenclature is. Don't you think some of the same subscribers, pretty much all the same subscribers who are subscribing to this channel, are going to just organically move over and subscribe to your channel too, and the other RBBS Logistics Learning Centers? Think about yourself. Each one of you who are on here now, when Darren Stevens starts his own YouTube channel and starts putting out his content, aren't you all going to go subscribe to his channel too? Of course you are, because you want to see what. I like what's going on over here with this RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Let's go over and subscribe to that one too. Well, let's go over and subscribe to Ms. Jen Williams, her RBBS Logistics Learning Center. See what she has to offer. See what she's saying about the freight. See what she's putting together on her YouTube channel. So what took me a year and a half to build my brand and to get to where I can monetize my channel, where I can get offered 55% of the ad revenue. It took me a year and a half to get to the point where I was able to participate in YouTube's ad revenue. Okay, a year and a half of organically building this step by step by step. Broadcast after broadcast. What took me a year and a half should only take you all a couple of months. Why? Because you are piggybacking on the brand that I've already built. I've done the hard work. I've laid the foundation for all of you all. So now, if you want to get your own RBBS Legit Learning Center, all you got to do is just come in, get your thing set up, and start promoting. Start shooting your own YouTube channel videos. The subscribers are going to come easily to you. Why? Because I've already laid the groundwork. The brand is already there. People already know the name. We already have 8,500 subscribers. We already get 510 views, 510,000 views to our YouTube our media. So those same people who have expressed an interest in watching our videos over and over and over again because they're trying to learn something, they're gonna come to your channels too. So you're just gonna be building on the brand that I've already created. Okay? All right. And if you don't want to do training, don't do training. Just promote your own RBBS Legit Learning Center and let us take care of the training. Those of us who want to do training. Nothing changes. Okay? But the price is gonna change. The price is gonna change. It's gonna be $1,500 to $2,400 for the online training platform. Now, the monthly subscription is gonna stay about the same, but that enrollment fee is gonna change. Why? Because government programs and government funding is going to be paying that enrollment fee for most people. And for those people who can't qualify for government programs, we do have what's called Afterpay now. So we'll have the price point of where Afterpay will be able to be applied to it, where you can pay for it with Afterpay for those people who are not who we can't get approved for some type of government funding. Okay, but the price is going to change. It's going to go way up. Okay, it's going to be somewhere between $1,500 and $2,400. Okay, so those people who are in now, they don't have to worry about that because they're grandfathered in. Those people who get in now, don't have to worry about it because you'll be grandfathered in. All right. Other questions? Whew. When that happens, Calvin, will you offer financial aid for those who can't afford the program? Hey, look, I'm already way ahead of you. We just answered that question. Now, we have Afterpay that you can use right now. If you wanted to sign up for our platform right now and pay that $349.95, you can pay for it now through Afterpay. Just look for it at checkout. You pay for it with Afterpay. You click the Afterpay, go ahead and set up with them. I think it's like $62 or some change per week for 4 weeks. Now, if you pay through Afterpay, your monthly subscription won't start until 60 days later. Because we want to give you time to pay your Afterpay off, and then your monthly subscription starts 30 days after that. Okay? And we have loan programs where we're set up with, where we can refer you to lenders to do personal loans if you want to take out a loan to pay for our program or whatever the case may be, and then you pay those loan people back over the period of 2, 3, 4, and 5 years. We have those set up too, and those are already in place. Reach out to me if you want questions about our lender network. Okay, what happens here? Hello, everyone. Stacy. Hey, Stacy. Nice of you to join us. Questions. I got busy and had to go, but the video is still on. Yep, video is still on. All right. That's gonna do it for our questions. So I think we had a very successful day. We ran a little bit over the time we normally do, but I got started later too. I didn't get started until about 10:30, 10:30, 10:40. So we ran past. It's 12:56 now, so we're still about the same time frame. Look, everybody, I appreciate all y'all on YouTube who joined me today for this Q&A session of the Broker's Hour. We need to have more of these because a lot of times I come over here and I just give a class and tell y'all what I got to tell you. But we gotta start having more of these Q&A sessions where y'all get to come on. You can ask questions that are pertinent to you and your situation. I may be doing some things right now that you need to get settled and get through. So you all can ask those questions directly to me without having to pay for a private consultation. So we're gonna have some Saturdays where we're gonna be doing more of the Q&A and treat it like a public consultation instead of a private consultation. Now remember, if you need help specifically with any one thing and something that's gonna take a while for us to go over, schedule a private consultation. If you want to give me a call and something we can talk about that doesn't fall within the realm of a private consultation, give me a call. 866-973-6445, 860. That'll come right to me. So I'm open to speak with anybody. You don't even have to be part of our platform. If you got a quick question about the business, about something you're having a problem with, whatever the case may be, look, I love doing what I do. And I'm open to everybody, not just people who are within our platform. If you have a quick question, come on in, ask me a quick question. I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to give you the answer to it, okay? If it doesn't take longer than 10 to 15 minutes. If it takes longer than that, schedule a private consultation. I hold private consultation with any and everybody who is seeking knowledge. But if you want to get that knowledge and get access to all our back office tools, resources, training, and support, join our platform, okay? The price is still right, $349.95 plus tax on your enrollment and $39.95 plus tax per month for your access to your back office tools, resources, training, and support. The price is going to go up. I'm telling y'all now, the price is going to go up. Please don't come to me, when after that price goes up and say, hey, I was meaning to get it. Well, I was meaning to tell you that. Oh, well, I did tell you that the price went up. So I'm just letting you all know the price is going to go up, okay? Because you're going to have access to more stuff, more trainers, more of everything with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Look, I thank you all. I appreciate y'all. All y'all on YouTube, thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. It was great having you all here. I love all the questions. They were all great. You all are all great. Keep tuning in. Go ahead and log on and tune in to Miss Jen Williams' podcast over on Spotify. If you need to get the link to that, you can get it on our Facebook page. You can get it on my personal Facebook page. You can get it on the RBBS Just Learning Facebook page. Go to Facebook, you go to CDL Professionals, you get it on that page. Go to her page on Facebook. Look for RBBS Logistics Learning Centers 3 on Facebook, and that's her business page on Facebook. Look for it. What can I tell you? We're growing. we're growing. Thank you all. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support, and you all have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.